Hello, everybody. It is Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching. I am coming to you today, March 13th. I say that because we got a lot going on today. And welcome to Moment of Presence. Let me say that first. Welcome to Moment of Presence. What we do here is take a moment out of your day to bring you into the moment so that you can center, uh, get some value from a good conversation, a little bit of knowledge dropping, and hopefully apply something that you learn, even if it's just one thing. So I am a life coach, emotional liberation coach, emotional alchemist, you name it. That is what I do, is help people be the best version of themselves. And a lot of the clients that I help are struggling with overwhelm and feeling out of control. Nobody likes to feel out of control. Their emotions are controlling them a lot of the time. Uh, it's affecting career, it's affecting their whole life, and they're just not happy. And some know that they're not happy, some don't know that they're not happy, but their family and friends and career, the people that they work with, everybody else knows that they're not happy. So I help those clients understand what's happening internally, because when you work on yourself, you impact and affect everybody else around you. And so I am very passionate about that. And why? Because I've had to do it myself. I was that person that was miserable. I was that person that hid under my desk when I was in corporate because things were going so bad and I had no idea who to turn to, who to trust, what to do because of the toxicity. And I had to figure it out. And I have done a lot of my own work. And that is what I like to teach. One of the biggest things that I had to do was face the internal voices that I still hear all the time. And I don't mean those crazy voices. Sometimes they are, but those check engine lights, those voices that are saying something's not right, or the ones that try to block us from doing the things that we need to do. So that's what I'm passionate about. I'm glad you're here today. Thank you for joining me. And before we dive into this fun topic today, because we are going to start a series, and I love starting series because everybody kind of knows what to expect. And we have a topic that goes from one week to another. So why don't we start with a couple deep breaths? And if you've been with me before, thank you for joining me again. And if you're new, welcome. But we take 3 deep breaths. We take a big inhale. We hold it for 3, and then we exhale. And then we will get into the topic today. So it's all about spring. So let's pretend that we are just taking a big deep breath of the big fresh air that is all around us, right? So big deep breath in, and we're going to hold it. And then just exhale. And pretend that you're smelling a beautiful flower that's in front of you. Big deep breath in. Hold it. And then a nice exhale. And then another big deep breath in. And a nice relaxing exhale. Nice. That alone can change anybody's day. So let's talk about today our topic, which is, what can we learn from spring? Well, what is it about spring? Because spring has sprung. And, in the way that I look at spring, spring is about new beginnings. Spring, we do spring cleaning, so we lighten the load, whether it's spring cleaning our closets or we're spring cleaning the house. How about spring cleaning our emotions and spring cleaning our ideas, the ones that were maybe the ones that we never really got to? And so we can get rid of those now. They weren't a priority. We can set new priorities for ourselves. We can refresh ourselves and plant some new seeds for what we want for this year. So, whether it's new goals or new ideas, new things we want to learn, we can embrace change with spring. Are you noticing a theme here? Because the series that I want to start today and what we will be talking about in the upcoming weeks is about the different elements and how they impact our life. And so that's exactly, you know, spring allows us to look at the different elements and enjoy them, reflect on them. And a lot of people are struggling with the changes that are happening in their own world, in the world, the upheavals, the craziness. There's people arguing about things that I don't even know why they're arguing about, because half the time they're saying the same thing. Sometimes people just like to argue. And so this is a time, spring is a time for us to take a step back and think about, are we enjoying what we're experiencing? Are we enjoying our life? And take an inventory of that. And so, that's part of what I want to talk about. So let's talk about reclaiming our energy and making it a new space for us. So spring cleaning. So what does that look like? Well, you can start with your space. Uh, when you walk in your office, when you walk in your home, when you walk in your bedroom, is it a heavy feeling that you get? Like, oh, I need to do this and I should do that and I should do this. If that comes to mind, just pick one thing. Just pick one corner, one part of your desk. Don't try to take on all of it. Take just one little thing. That's all. Just one little thing. And just do that. So that way that space is done. That space you can look at and you can smile. And then maybe the next day move on to the next spot. Not everything has to be done in a day. Think about a plant. You plant the seed, but the plant doesn't grow and bear fruit in one day. There's a whole growth period. There's a nurturing period. Something else we can learn from spring. So as you're spring cleaning and you're spring cleaning your environment, think about spring cleaning your ideas, your priorities. If you're feeling overwhelmed, I know a lot of you are. If you are feeling out of control, that you want to grab control of whatever it is, you feel like you're spiraling or that things are just piling up on top of you. And I get it. I've been there. Those are the times where you have to take those deep breaths and bring yourself into the present moment. We can't worry about what happened in the past or what you should have done that you didn't get done. And we can't worry about the future, because then we're just going to give ourselves anxiety and panic attacks. And that doesn't help us get anything done. So when you bring yourself into the present moment, you ground, and we're going to talk a lot more about grounding next week. But when you can ground yourself in your breath, bring yourself into the present moment and just look around you, touch the table, touch whatever, the wall, touch something that feels good, a blanket, a soft, cuddly blanket. And what is the one thing that you can do where you'll feel like you've accomplished something? What is the one seed you can plant so that way tomorrow you can then do something else in continuance on that same path? So when we talk about spring cleaning our ideas, nurturing, allowing things to grow, watering our good ideas. Can't just plant a seed and then just leave it and sit back and kick your feet up and go, okay, where is it? We have to nurture it. We have to take care of it. And the same goes with ourself. Same goes with our idea. Same goes with our environment. And so these are the things that I want us to talk about over the next coming weeks. And I want you to ask questions. I want you to tell me what you're struggling with. I want you to tell me maybe you have a question you want to bring up a topic along with spring cleaning and how to work in the elements. I welcome that. Good job, Kathy. One of my favorite things is when Abraham Hicks says, sometimes we vacuum, and it's like we forget to plug in the vacuum. We're doing all the right things, but yet nothing's coming of it because we're actually not in the right energy. And so I'm glad that you vacuumed, and I'm sure that you plugged in your vacuum. So good for you, Kathy. It's so important because when things are clean, we're refreshed. We feel refreshed. Think of how we feel when we get out of a shower. We let the day drain away. We let the water rush over us. We let all of the energy that's been sticking to us all day, right? Just drain away. And if you can picture the negativity draining away from you, you're even doing better because you're basically doing an active meditation in the shower and you're releasing and you're letting go. And it's so important. So so many people say, well, I don't have time for meditation. I don't have time to take for myself. You got time to take a shower and you got time to brush your teeth. You got time to clean up your energy, because I will always go back to that. Just like you don't want to walk around with stinky breath. That's why we brush our teeth and to take care of our teeth. You don't want to walk around with stinky energy and spread that all over people. So I know everyone think that's so funny, but it's so true. Because our negative energy, when we walk into a room, other people feel it. And so, yes, we have to refresh ourselves. We have to feel renewed. And how can we do that? So here are those ideas. Refresh the environment around you. Don't be surprised if after this weekend, maybe my area is going to look a little bit different. I feel that need to change some things up. Get rid of some things. It's feeling a little heavy in here. Things should feel light. Same thing with your closet. Kathy, that's next. Go into your closet. Do that method where you hold something up, and if it brings you joy and you smile, you keep it. And if it doesn't, it's out of here. Don't eat it. Someone else will smile when they see it. So these are the things that you can do to help refresh yourself. Now, what else can we learn from spring? New beginnings, right? There's a lot of, if you look out at nature, spring is the time where nature starts doing what it's doing, and there's nests that are built and there's babies that are born. Think of your ideas, your goals. Forget about but I made resolutions and I've already, it's already March and I didn't do. Forget all that. Leave the shoulds alone. Stop shoulding on yourself. Just start fresh now. It's March. What do you want to have done by June? How do you want to feel by June? And then start doing it. One thing a day. That's it. One thing. You want to lose some weight? Great. Start eating better. Go for a walk. If you want some friends that align more with your energy and the way that you're thinking, join a group, whether it's on Facebook and it's virtually, whether it's local, but reach out. Reach out to some people that you see are like minded like you and start talking to them. Start posting, start a conversation in Messenger, but reach out. People don't know that you're hoping to find like minded people. But that's that, there's that saying that you are, that you are a accumulation of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And you should never be the bottom and you should never be the top. You should be somewhere in the middle. So that way you're inspiring and you're being inspired. And so as you spiral upwards, your circle has to change. And there's nothing wrong with that. But as we grow, we expand. And as we expand, there are things that do drop off, whether it's like as we grow up, there's things that we stopped enjoying as we grew older. And now as we grow older, there's things that we now enjoy that we didn't enjoy before. And that's okay. So those are some ideas. So post your thoughts, any questions in the comments, for those of you that are watching. And let's talk about some of the ways that you change things up for spring. What are some of your plans? What are some of the things that you're struggling with that you would like some help with? Small steps lead to big growth. So we don't try to grow a big oak tree, right, in 1 year. We can plant the seed, we can water it, we can nurture it, but we don't expect it and then judge it for not being this tremendous oak tree in a year. So I always like to say, let go of the judgment, let go of the expectations. What is it that you want to let go of for spring so that you can feel lighter and you can feel more refreshed? And we'll talk more about that as well. Embracing change. We talk about this a lot with Odinata in the Odinata community with the weekly coaching. It's all about transformation. The caterpillar turns into a butterfly. A dragonfly is a water bug before it even knows that it has wings. It never knows it has wings until it climbs up out of the mucky pond water, and then the wings unfurl and the sun shines on it and it dries out, and then it's this beautiful dragonfly and it flies away. Why do you think I picked Odinata and dragonflies? Because that's exactly what we're doing. We are transforming. We are becoming what we already are inside. We just don't know how to unfurl our wings yet. And that's okay. And some people need help unfurling them. They kind of get stuck. And some people don't. Either way, it's all right as long as you continue to move forward. Think of it like the little inchworm. Does anything ever determine an inchworm? An inchworm just keeps inching its way wherever it's going, and it doesn't stop because that's what inchworms do. So, any thoughts so far? Any questions so far? This is your time. All right. So, some quick ideas on how to apply all of this and reclaim your energy. So, we talked about spring cleaning, we talked about planting seeds, we talked about self care. That is one of the most important things. It changed my life completely when I started doing self care. Some of you started with, you know, 10 gratitudes, 10 thankfuls, 10 minutes of meditation. You have to do what's right for you. And nobody else knows except you. So if your idea of meditating is doing yoga, then do yoga. If your idea is a walking meditation, do it. Walk and meditate. If your idea is to meditate in the shower, then meditate in the shower. Whatever works for you. Sometimes it's prayer. Prayer is a form of meditation. Sometimes it's sitting quietly and journaling. Another form of meditating. It's whenever we are listening from inside. That's the bottom line. It's listening from inside. What are we trying, our higher self, our inner self, what is it trying to tell us? And so that's what I would like to ask you to focus on when you're working on your self-care. Follow the light. So what does that mean? Focus on what fuels your energy. Notice what is draining you, right? We wake up in the morning, we feel good, we're ready to go. And then by the end of the day, we're drained. Sometimes by the middle of the day, we're drained. What drained you? Was it after a specific meeting? Was it after a specific meeting with a person? Was it after a conversation? What was it that drained you? And then start asking yourself questions. What was it about that conversation? Not because we're taking, it's not the blame game, it's the observation game. What was it about that conversation that drained me? Was it the topic? Was it the person? Was it the constant push and pull of the conversation? But finding those little things out gives insight into you and into what's draining the energy. And then we can work on plugging up that hole, lack of a better term, and we can fix it, right? But the light gets through those broken parts. So don't ever feel bad when we have energy drains or cracks in our shell, so to speak, because that's how the light gets in, and that's good. So it's not a bad thing, but it's finding out what is it that is creating the drainage or creating the cracks where the drainage is happening and the energy is seeping out. Let go of the old. So releasing old habits. And sometimes that means personalities that are in our life. Sometimes it means obligations that we said yes to, but now we're kind of we've outgrown it. It's just not doing it for us anymore. It's okay. You have to decide for yourself though what those are. And you can't be one of those people that just sit back and go, well, I'll just wait until they ask me to leave. If you want to take control, then take control. If you want to take radical responsibility of your happiness, then by God, take radical responsibility for your happiness. But understand what that happiness is, where it's coming from, where it's going to come from, and why whatever it is not making you or bringing you the happiness. Because sometimes we run from things that we think are the problem, like many of us that have left a job. Oh, forget it, I'm out of here. They're treating me like crap. And then we run to another job, and really, there was something going on within us that we didn't know how to handle. And we take it with us to the new job. And now we're at the new job and we're like, why does this always happen to me? Why do I always get the same narcissistic boss? Why do I always fall into the same pattern? It's because we didn't clean up the old habits, beliefs, thought systems, patterns, cycles. You got to clean all that up or you can't move forward. And then the mindset. That's the big one. So spring reminds us that balance is neutral. I like harmony better because you're harmonizing your life with the ups and the downs. And in my mind, what that looks like is, when there's that slight ripple on the top of the water, it's not crushing waves, it's just a slight ripple. That to me is harmony. There's just enough wind to make the water ripple, just enough to make it feel alive and have that movement forward, and you're just going with the flow. That to me is harmony, because there's always going to be the ups and the downs. But how big are the ups and how big are the downs, and how big is that gap? That's what we want to bring smaller, so that we just live in the ripples and we just glide with ease down the river with the flow. So you don't have to do all of this. You can just put one into motion. We talked about a lot. I gave you a lot of ideas. And so I hope that you will try just one or two. And I hope you report back and you let me know, how did it work out for you? What are you going to try next? Make a list. Prioritize. But don't overwhelm yourself with a list, because we do that too. I'm going to write a thing of everything I want to accomplish. Just write down a few things. Accomplish them. Then write down the next ones. But make yourself the priorities. So if you need any help doing any of this, we have Odonata Community, which is a group coaching call every single week. It's on Thursdays, and we expand on this topic, whatever the topic is, from the conversation today. So that starts at 7 o'clock tonight. There's still time to register and get in. It is subscription based, so you just pay monthly. Nice and easy. And I made it extremely affordable because I want to help as many people as possible. If you want to work with me one-on-one, then you can schedule a call. And it's very easy. You just book a call with me, mokshagrace.com/coaching, and we'll hop on a call, we'll talk, and we'll see, are we a right fit? And if we're not, that's okay too. Here's the thing. Everybody knows somebody that could use a little help. And maybe they don't know. Maybe they've never had a coach. And maybe you could introduce them to even a conversation, one of these conversations, one of my lives, send to my YouTube channel. And that way they understand who I am before they get on the call. Share the knowledge. But I'm here to help. I'm here to answer questions. That's why I have these lives once a week, because I want to bring value. So next week, we're going to be talking about the next element. Let me see. Of course, the first one, being grounded. We're going to talk about earth and staying rooted. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And we're going to talk about what that means exactly. So every week we'll be covering another element, how you can apply it to your life. These are things that you can do yourself. You can go out there and you can ground yourself if you have some ideas on how to do it. If you've never hugged a tree before, but I get ahead of myself, we'll talk about that next week. Remember that every day you wake up, you get to decide, is it going to be a good day or a bad day? That, my friends, is in your control. It certainly is in your control, because it's all about how you respond to situations. So make good choices, take the pause, take some deep breaths, and think about spring and how you can put some more spring in your step. See you next week.